Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Islam in all of the MATW project family around the world. Now, we're very aware that in the last couple of months, so many new people have joined us. We've got so many more fans and followers across all of our platforms in the last couple of months. Of course, that's because of the good work that our team is doing in Palestine in order to help the people there. But I just wanted to share with you guys the story of how MATW project actually got started. It's something that we do from time to time just to share the story with all the new fans and followers. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for all the love that we're seeing in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, by the way. It's always good to see how far and wide MATW project is reaching. Now, in 2015, there was a young man living in Sydney. His name was Ali Banat. He was half Lebanese, half Palestinian, and he was a successful businessman in his mid to late 20s. He was already extremely wealthy by that age. He had a few successful businesses, a security company, an electrical company, and he was doing very well, mashallah. An entrepreneur like a lot of Lebanese people are. So I come from India, Pakistan. Let me know where you guys are watching from, inshallah. Anyway, one day he wasn't feeling too well. He went to the doctor and he asked them to see what was wrong with him. And they said that he had stage 4 cancer. Now, if you don't know, and inshallah, I hope you don't know, stage 4 cancer is the last stage in the cancer journey. Stage 1 is the most mild, stage 4 is the most severe, and there's no stage 5. And Ali, at the time, before he knew that he had cancer, he was living a very luxurious life. He was wearing the best brands, the best colognes, the best clothes, the most expensive shoes. He was traveling on extravagant overseas holidays. He was driving the best cars. I think he had a Ferrari. So having a Ferrari by the age of 20-something is pretty incredible. But subhanAllah, when he got his cancer diagnosis, he decided to change everything. Now, a lot of people get diagnosed with cancer every single day. SubhanAllah, every single time I'm on stage for an MATW project event, I ask people who in here knows someone who's been affected by cancer, and 100% of the room will put their hands up, because every single person, every single one of us, sadly, yes, as Freddie said, every single one of us sadly knows someone who's been affected by cancer. It's a very prevalent disease. But Ali didn't see his cancer as a curse. Instead, he's described it as a gift. He decided to do an interview about his situation with Brother Muhammad Hoblos, and that interview clip went viral all over the world, and it was called Gifted with Cancer. You can actually still look it up. If you go to YouTube and type in Gifted with Cancer, you'll see the whole 7-minute chat between Brother Muhammad Hoblos and Brother Ali Banat, where he describes why he calls it a gift in the first place. And I'll summarize it for you from my own point of view. And by the way, I had the good fortune, alhamdulillah, to meet Brother Ali a few times when he was alive. He was a lovely young man. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept everything that he's done and everything that MATW project is still doing today. So, not everyone would describe cancer as being a gift. In fact, I've never heard anybody say that except for Ali. And the reason why he said that in a nutshell is because he was focused on the dunya. He was focused on making money, buying expensive clothes, the best designer brands. And I don't want to mention the names of these designer brands. But that was his focus. That was his priorities. He wasn't a bad person. He wasn't going out there living a terrible lifestyle. He still used to pray. He still used to fast. But the priority for him was chasing the wealth, the material wealth, the luxuries, the brands, and all that sort of thing. After he got diagnosed with cancer, he decided to sell everything that he owned. And instead of buying things in the dunya, he would buy things that are going to help him in the akhirah, help him in the afterlife. He started to sponsor orphans, build masjids, build water wells, and basically do anything that he could do to get as many hasanat, as many good deeds as he could before it was time for him to go and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, his focus went from focusing on getting the currency of this world, which is the dollar, but instead getting the currency of the afterlife, which is the hasanat, the good deeds. He completely shifted 180 degrees from being dunya, dunya, dunya to being akhirah, akhirah, akhirah. He was all about the afterlife after that. He sold everything he had. He donated everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had an even bigger plan for him than that. When people heard his story, when people watched this video, Gifted with Cancer, that I urge you to watch, it's still on YouTube, people started offering to give him money as donations. They said, I heard you're building a mosque. Build a mosque for me too. Build a water well for me too. I heard you're taking care of orphans and feeding them. Here, I'll give you some money so you can do even more. So everyone started throwing money at the guy. And so he registered an organization which he called Muslims Around the World Project. MATW Project. That's still what we're called today. And you can even see in our logo, it's the whole world in between two sets of hands. Now, Ali changed his focus in that way, and he inspired millions of people just like you to do the same thing. Now, even though you or I, inshallah, don't have cancer, I hope none of you have cancer that's watching this, we actually still are in the same position that Ali was in, because we don't know when our time is going to be up. The whole point of Ali's diagnosis, the thing that made him change his priorities in his life, is that he knew he was going to die within the next 6 months or so. That's what doctors had guessed, that he had about 6 months to live. And that's what made him change his priorities. But you and me, we don't know how long we're going to live. We might live for a year or 5 or 10. We might live for 6 months. We might live for a week from today. Nobody really knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when our time is going to be up, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to send the angel of death for us. So the story of Ali Banat really applies to all of us. If you don't know how much longer you've got in this dunya, if you don't know how much longer you've got on this earth, then you need to shift your priorities, just like Ali did, and stop chasing the material things, stop chasing the dunya, and instead focus on getting the currency of the afterlife, getting the currency of the akhirah, which is the good deeds. It's just that simple. So in a sense, all of us are just like Brother Ali Banat. And that's how MATW Project was started. Now, I said that the cancer diagnosis was in 2015. Ali eventually passed away in 2018. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him. And I was approached to join MATW Project, I think in late 2018 or early 2019. And I've been with MATW Project ever since. You see, a lot of good friends of Ali's, like our CEO, Brother Mahmoud Ismail, they decided to keep this project going. A lot of people thought that when Ali passed away, this thing called MATW Project would stop. But his friend Mahmoud Ismail kept the project going and recruited a lot of people to help make that mission possible and to help expand MATW Project, not just from being in a couple of countries in West Africa, but now to being in over 30 countries around the world, including Palestine, including Lebanon, including Afghanistan, including Indonesia, and so many more. I can't even name all 30 countries anymore. Back in 2018, I could name all the countries that we worked in. Now there's just too many to remember. But alhamdulillah, this is all part of the legacy that Ali left behind. Earlier today, I was watching his final message, which is also on YouTube, by the way, his farewell message to the world, when he felt he was knocking on the door of death. And it's his final message to the world. And he says, have a plan, have a goal, have a project, have something that you are doing to get you that currency of the hereafter, to get you the hasanat. Even if you are supporting somebody else's project, but it means you're involved in some way in getting ready to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the afterlife. And that was his final message. So it's just an incredible story from beginning to end, how between 2015 and 2023, we're just knocking on the door of 2024 now. This project has grown from working in one country to working in over 30 countries, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Alhamdulillah, we are working with some of the biggest Muslim speakers and authors and scholars in the world, doing tours and events, helping people to learn about Islam, as well as giving them an incentive to work for their afterlife and their akhirah as well, by retelling the story of Brother Ali Banat and all the good things that have happened since he started this great organization. So I hope that story has maybe been new to you or has reminded you of something that you already knew about MATW Project. We all need to do everything we can to work for our akhirah, so I encourage everyone to click the link in the bio or go to matwproject.org and make a contribution. Do it regularly, do it once a week, do it once a fortnight. Just keep connected to this project and keep your intention that you're doing this to get ready to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know you need the good deeds, and this is your way of harvesting those good deeds weekly, fortnightly, daily, whatever it is that you can do, just so that you've got that plan for when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank you guys all so much. Don't forget, I'll be doing a live panel with my fellow ambassadors this coming Wednesday night, so in 3 days time. There's some of that being advertised on our stories now. I'll be with Brother Zach, Sister Raz, and Sister Cindy as well from Melbourne, and we'll be having a good chat about 2023, the year that was, and everything that MATW Project has been through and grown through this year with your help and support. We can't wait to see you Wednesday night for our panel discussion. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.